Yeah, these Dodges seem to really have a lot of power here today, and that's going to really be in their favor when it comes down time to win this race.
In case those letters weren't close enough, that was Charger.
See, now they've already pulled out from this group.
And as we mentioned earlier, the two-car effort aerodynamically is better than the multi-car behind them, and here they go.
See Hornish pull out now. He's going to have to cool his engine down just a little bit, or the water in there. See, Hamlin will try to get back on his bumper and see if they can stay out there. That's where Denny Hamlin would love to be, out in front of this whole group.
And how hard is that to do? Because you can't afford to break the throttle open, right?
Yeah, but you got to break. You got to let that guy get back to you. So you've got to do something, either drag the brake, and that's what allows the rest of these guys to catch you then. But can't stay there for long. But Denny's good at it. He'll push Sam back to the front here.
On the high side, it's Mark Martin getting the push from Clint Boyer with Jeff Burton right behind him. Let's see who's going to lead this lap here at Talladega as they come down towards the stripe. That guy's going to be holding that blue passing flag all day long up there in the stand. Mark Martin gets credited now as 28 lead changes among 15 different leaders. In fact, let's get an update on the 5, Dave.
Well, Mark has kept it no secret, Marty, that he is not a fan of pushing or of being pushed. So I asked crew chief Alan Gustafson, well, when did he come on board with this? Because he seems to have done it well. He was 5th here in April. He said when they did the test this spring for the spoilers on the cars and the gear ratios, he said Mark worked with Jeff Gordon during that day. And that day was when Mark said, you know what? I can do this now. I feel comfortable doing this. And Alan said part of it is just other people knowing you're willing to do it. And now that people know that, Mark is out front, and I think he's a more potential winner here at Talladega.
He's got his hands full right now with David Ruderman pushing the 11 of Denny Hamlin to the forefront. You noticed the 14 getting another lap down. Tony Stewart now 2 laps off the pace. You know, speaking of Mark Martin, yesterday I was talking to him. He said, we've got to come up with a different terminology for teammates. He says, we are not teammates when we're out on that track. I guarantee you, if we're going for the stripe, I want to win, and so do they.
Well, that's what makes it challenging to know that. You see Dale Jr. go back to the front here. But, yeah, I mean, they work for the same organization, but when you're out there, yeah, it's about you and your race team that you're trying to make the most for.
Look at the way they are slicing back in the middle of this pack. That was Mark diving down low. There's one car really slow in the middle right there. I can't quite make out who it is from this aerial view. But up front, looks like Dale Earnhardt Jr. could be leading another lap. Kurt Busch, Joey Logano now has moved into 3rd. Jeff Burton, Marcus Ambrose rounds out your top 5. So there's Dale Earnhardt Jr. That's right, he led 90 laps last week at Martinsville, and he's up front here at Talladega. Welcome back to the AMP Energy Juice 500 here at Talladega. Make sure to go to NASCAR.com for all your latest NASCAR information. I've got 2 guys standing up here pointing all over the place. You guys are wound up today.
Oh, there's just so much going on. It's just great racing to watch these guys.
Yeah, you see Ambrose and Ruderman up on that outside now. They've got that 2-car hookup. See how far they can take it.
Let's reset the front for you. It's Dale Earnhardt Jr. with Kurt Busch right behind him. Then Joey Logano, Montoya, Elliott Sadler. Then Hornish, Ruderman, Truex, Scott Speed. That's your top 10. But that'll change quickly. Come by the stripe one more time. Dale Earnhardt Jr. is now going to be the leader in the clubhouse with laps led. We've had 15 different leaders and 30 lead changes, and Dale Jr. is who we're focusing on in our Gillette Pro Glide profile. You can see us starts here at Talladega with the 5 wins, and who knows, maybe today could be number 6 and end that streak.
You got that in just in time because Ambrose is going to the front with this big push. Marcus got David Ruderman. Ruderman has been doing a great job. He was pushing the boss, Michael Waltrip, around a little bit earlier. And look at it, 3 wide behind him. Here we go. Jeff Burton's in that middle, and so is Casey Mears.
And the 31 of Jeff Burton sort of sliding back along with the 17. Let's get an update on the 31, Doc.
Yeah, Marty, Jeff says I've lost some speed in the car, and I'm not sure why, but he told Todd Berrier he thinks when they were bump drafting the 17 car of Kenseth that he may have bent the hood, the back of the hood, right where it goes into the cowl. And that's a very important part here to get airflow in terms of horsepower. And Jeff said for whatever reason, we've lost speed, and I can't get it back right now. We're going to look when we get on pit road again at the very back of the hood.
You see a lot of movement. Marcus Ambrose is falling back like a rock right now. That was Marcus's view, and you could see everybody going by him there. The 09 on the high side is Bobby Labonte. Brad Keselowski pulls right in front of him. A little bit further forward, you see the 6 of David Ragan. Ragan's one of those guys that just lost contact with the pack. He is the first car 1 lap down, shown in 33rd. Newman 1 lap down in 34th.
Yeah, you see Kyle Busch there in the 18 who was hanging out in the back in that before those round of pit stops. He's going to try to push David Ragan up there, and he's going to try to take the lead himself. Ragan had been running good, but he had some problems on pit road. In all that exchange, anyway, he ended up losing the draft in a lap down, but has a pretty fast car. See, Kyle lost contact with him there for just a second. Here comes Burton pushing Casey Mears.
And when you're in the middle and you lose that contact, you can see the end result. Everybody waves to you as they go by. Now he's hooked back up with Ragan. Still in the middle, though. A couple more cars, including the 17 of Kenseth, pulled down into that second line. Here we come past the stripe again. It'll still be Dale Earnhardt Jr. leading. He's now led a total of 11 of the 62 laps.
I know one thing. If it got down to the end of this race and I could find Jeff Burton to get on my bumper, that's who I'd want here today. He has a fast car, he has a good engine, and he knows exactly how to handle this 2-car draft. He's pushed a number of people to the lead. Now you can see he's going to hang Casey Mears out to dry. Well, maybe you wouldn't want him there.
and maybe not. Maybe not on the last lap.
Yeah.
And for a guy who reportedly has a bad nose and maybe a problem, he's still flying.
One of the problems is, situations can make your car feel like it's really fast at some points, and other points you think, man, I got something wrong. And right now you see he's leading the race, but he's still probably sensing something in his car.
Yeah, and exactly. You can see as he gets out front, he can't go. As long as he's pushing, that air's not on that hood, so it's not a big deal. They're 5 wide right now.
Look out,
got
because
5 in line behind you now. 5 in line behind you. You're still pushing 4 wide.
yeah, we are. We can see that plain as day. Look at this. This is getting real dicey. Somehow they all managed to survive. We went from 4 wide. Now we're just back to 3.
Yeah, it's calmed down a lot now. My hands are sweating. I know that.
Look down low as we get another push.
Looks like Harvick.
David Rudiman right behind him there, giving him the nudge. Those are 2 slower cars. It looks like A.J. Allmendinger is, yes, he's going to go a lap down.
Well, that's the problem. When you make those green flag stops, if you lose that draft by just a little bit, you lose a couple to 3 seconds a lap, and then before you know it, they're swallowing you up.
Remember, Robbie Gordon was up front at the beginning of the race. He just went a lap down as well with A.J. Allmendinger. So right now, 30 cars on the lead lap here at the AMP Energy Juice 500 at Talladega. Let's check the motorsports calendar, because NHRA action from Las Vegas tonight at 9 Eastern on ESPN. And then NASCAR Now tonight at 11:30 on ESPN2. And, of course, the roundtable tomorrow at 5 Eastern, also on ESPN2. And then Nationwide Series action at Texas, noon Saturday on ESPN2. And then Sprint Cup Series from Texas presented by GoDaddy.com, 3 o'clock Eastern next Sunday on ESPN. Back here at Talladega Superspeedway, a total of 18 leaders now, 34 lead changes. Here comes Kurt Busch to lay claim to 5 bonus points as well. He's now in front of Dale Earnhardt Jr., Joey Logano, David Rudiman, Kevin Harvick, Kyle Busch, Elliott Sadler, and Juan Pablo Montoya. And we are still seeing 3 and 4 wide racing, and we are just about a third of the way through this race.
Look at Montoya. You can see he went from that top lane all the way to the bottom. See what he could get moving from right there. It's just a matter of, it's a guessing game all day. You see Harvick right on the bumper of David Rudiman, trying to put a little distance.
Speaking of Rudiman, his boss Michael Waltrip made a pit stop during the break. He is now a lap down in 37th position. And let's check in on Jeff Gordon and company, because he and Hamlin, Boyer, Jimmy Johnson, they're all running together 23rd through 26th position. Let's listen in on Jeff's radio.
I don't like getting this far back, man. I don't know what these guys are doing. Problem is, they're going to be, if they get single file, we're gone. They're gone. Oh, yeah, we definitely got to go because that just broke us up.
What do you think?
They're still okay. As long as they have 3 fast race cars there together, those guys up front getting single file is not going to happen, Jeff. I can tell you. There's way too much racing going on up there. So you're okay right where they're at. We saw a group earlier get back 12 seconds and were able to run them down. So it gets crazy up front again.
Well, and they just picked up 2 seconds on the pack, and here's the reason why.
Whoa!
Look out.
Uh-oh, here goes
going across.
Allmendinger.
That's Allmendinger sideways, but it looks like if he can keep it down.
Get a caution.
He's off the wall,
Still nothing.
and the first caution of the race is out.
Got crammed from behind by somebody.
Yeah, he got help. So A.J. Allmendinger, who freely admitted yesterday all the news going on about RPM racing has his stomach in knots, let alone having to race this place.
Yeah, you don't need that. It looked like Casey Kane got sideways, and A.J. kind of checked up, and car behind him didn't.
All right, let's go back and take another look at it, see what happened.
Yeah, it's getting kind of crazy up front. You see all these leaders spreading out.
Well, the 2 Red Bull cars got together. Scott Speed got him and A.J.
Looks like it might have been Keselowski that got into the back of A.J.
Plenty of room at that section of the track. And the only damage is to the rear of the car, as you see right there. Here's the angle from behind. See the 12? Yeah, 12 gets into the 43. We'll step aside for just a moment. Here is our first caution flies at Talladega.